The August 15th contractor deadline we've been hearing about for weeks, it's today. I'm Truman Vale, this is Sentinel's RV/GCR Daily Brief for Thursday. We've got the contractor timing call reaching its decision point right now, bondholder liquidation claims hitting their Wednesday-Thursday window, a September 1st redemption center opening claim for 209 nations, Iraqi Parliament supposedly releasing the rate by Saturday, and the Dong getting a 72-hour revaluation call. Let's get into what's real and what we're actually watching. Yesterday we covered what we were hearing from contractors in Iraq, that they'd been told they'd start getting paid at the new dinar rate by August 15th. Well, August 15th is tomorrow. And if you're following the Middle East clock, for folks on the ground in Iraq, it's already midday Thursday as I'm recording this. So here's what we watch. Do reports start coming out of Iraq over the next 24 to 48 hours that contractors actually got paid at a different rate? Do screenshots start circulating? Do the voices who have been calling this date start confirming it landed, or do they quietly roll it forward? The chatter this morning is saying notifications could come today or tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, with exchange appointments potentially starting Friday or Saturday. That's according to a military source being cited, and the claim is that exchanges are already happening in India, Indonesia, and Pakistan, with Canada doing exchanges at lower rates. Now, I want to be really careful here, because this is the kind of claim that has come around more times than I can count. We've heard notifications Thursday or Friday dozens of times. We've heard exchanges are already happening in the country for years. None of that is verified. It is chatter. It is someone's claimed intel. And we have been in this exact spot Thursday morning 2-day window, any moment now, more times than anyone wants to remember. So we hold it loosely. If contractors in Iraq genuinely start confirming payments at a new rate over the next 48 hours, that is a verifiable event and we will know it immediately. If that doesn't happen, the August 15th call goes into the same category as every other specific date that came and went, noted, tracked, and not treated as proof of anything except that the timing claims keep slipping. Bondholders are back in the conversation this week. The claim going around is that bondholders were promised liquidation of their funds by Wednesday or Thursday, yesterday or today. Reports out of Australia supposedly said bondholders were being funded as of Tuesday, with other sources saying liquidation was promised by the 12th or 13th. I have no way to verify that. If you are a bondholder and you got liquidated this week, you already know and you don't need me to tell you. If you didn't, then the claim didn't pan out, at least not yet, and we watch whether it rolls forward or goes quiet. The other big timing claim on the board this morning, September 1st. The word going around is that on Tuesday, September 1st, 2026, the new gold-backed global financial system will be active and redemption centers will open worldwide in 209 nations. That's the claim. It is 18 days out. It is specific. And it is tied to the QFS and NESARA-GESARA overlay that has been part of the chatter in this space for years. I'm going to say this plainly. We have heard global system goes live claims attached to specific dates more times than I can count, and none of them have landed. That does not mean September 1st is impossible. It means September 1st is a claim, it's on the board, and we will know in 18 days whether there was anything real behind it. Now, big news for anyone outside the original 5 countries where the app launched. Until this week, if you lived anywhere other than the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, or New Zealand, you were locked out, couldn't download it, couldn't use it, and people kept writing and asking how to get it. That changed this week, and it changed because you asked. The app is now available in essentially every country either store offers, 175 countries on Apple, 176 on Google Play. If you have an App Store or a Google Play Store, you can almost certainly get it now. It is still a free download and VIP is still free right now. The honest caveat, and I'm going to say this every time, text message alerts and the phone call alert still only reach numbers in the US and Canada. That's a limitation on our end, not yours, and it's not something you did wrong or can fix by re-entering your number. Push notifications and email alerts work everywhere in the world right now today. So if you're international and you want the RV Day alert, and you should, because it's free insurance against being the last person to find out, you turn on push and email and you get told at the same moment as everyone else. Nobody is at the back of the line because of where they live. We are actively working on a fix so text alerts reach more countries. WhatsApp is the most likely route since it's what most of the world actually uses. I'll tell you the moment it's real. But for now, push and email work everywhere, and that is what matters. If you've been writing in from overseas asking how to get this, it's yours now. Go get it. Let me turn to the dinar specifically, because there are a couple of threads moving today that are worth separating out. The Iraqi Parliament is supposedly expected to release the new dinar rate by Saturday, August 14th. That is tomorrow. If that happens, it is a public, verifiable event and we will all know about it immediately. If it doesn't, we note it and move on. Cabinet seating is being called for a window that opened today and runs through August 25th, with August 22nd supposedly the likeliest day. Prime Minister al-Zaidi announced earlier this week that the National Government Cabinet is entering its final stages, with final alignment scheduled for that August 15th to 25th window. That is real structural progress. Whether it translates into currency action is the part we're watching. The CBI is being described as under serious pressure to complete four core compliance categories: anti-money laundering controls, counterterrorism financing rules, internal governance standards, and tighter monitoring of international dollar activity. The claim is that several Iraqi banks have already been cleared and partially approved, with remaining steps still required before they reach full international standing. That tracks with what we've been hearing for months about the banking system build-out being the prerequisite for anything bigger. One source this week described the CBI contact as stating that time is critical for converting 3-0 notes to lower denominations and issuing coins, with hyperinflation becoming an imminent threat. That is a new framing. Hyperinflation as the risk Iraq is trying to head off by moving now, rather than currency strength being the prize they're chasing. If that's the actual driver, it changes the urgency calculation. And it also implies Iraq might be willing to move faster than the perfect conditions timeline would suggest. The zero deletion debate is still live. We covered it yesterday, so I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but the short version: nobody knows whether Iraq is planning a redenomination that helps currency holders or one that wipes them out. The Ministerial Council is reviewing options. We have theories, we have people reading into poorly translated statements, and we do not have a formal CBI announcement. So we wait and we watch and we recognize that both outcomes are possible. And then there's September. September keeps coming up. The claim this week is that Iraq's budget law will be drafted and submitted to Parliament in September with the dinar's next exchange rate, and that the rate decision can occur any morning before the law is presented. The September 30th outer deadline is real. Iraq's fiscal year closes, the armed group's monopoly of force policy goes into effect, and the coordination window effectively shuts. Whether Iraq actually uses that runway is what we're waiting to find out. The Vietnamese dong got a 72-hour revaluation claim this morning. The chatter is that the dong could possibly revalue within 72 hours, citing that Vietnam has been ready since 2015. I have heard some version of Vietnam is ready. It could happen any time for more than a decade. That does not mean the claim is wrong. It means 72-hour windows have come and gone before, and we hold this one with a grain of salt like we do every other imminent timing call. The broader September framing for Vietnam is still circulating. The IMF and the Asian Development Bank supposedly pushing for a strategic tiered dong revaluation aligned with the September 30th fiscal year close, with the window for significant adjustment landing in Q4 2026. That is a more reasonable timeline than within 72 hours, and it lines up with the same September window being called for Iraq. Whether both countries move in the same month is a theory. It's not evidence, but it's a theory with some structural logic behind it, and we're watching it. On Zim, the same unverified claims are still circulating. Contract rate and Zim exchanges can only be obtained at official redemption centers. Redemption centers offer higher rates than banks. Wells Fargo will send emails to currency and bond holders about appointments. None of that is verified. If you are holding Zim, you are holding it on hope and historical precedent, not on anything Zimbabwe or any US bank has confirmed in writing. Let me talk about something we're building that I think matters a lot, and it goes back to what this show is actually for. This community is drowning in scattered information. 10 voices saying 10 different things, dates that don't line up, claims that contradict each other. You're juggling browser tabs and Telegram channels trying to keep it all straight, and you're never quite sure whether you missed the one thing that actually mattered. We are building the Intel desk to solve that problem. One place where all the information gets brought in, compared, and vetted. Where true and correct intel reaches everyone, and where people on the inside can bring what they know without their names ever appearing in public. If you work in government, in Iraq, Vietnam, anywhere near the process this community watches, if you work at a bank, if you sit close enough to see what's actually moving, we want to hear from you. Become a confidential source. There are two ways in: the tip line at GCRSentinel.com, where you can leave your name and email completely blank so even we don't know who you are, or in the app, tap the little question mark in the top right corner and Intel Provider Inquiry is the first option. The confidentiality promises are absolute. We never publish your name unless you explicitly want us to. We never publish a tip you tell us not to. Confidential information is used for one purpose: to help us confirm or knock down the claims that reach us, so your information protects everyone even when it's never published. If you know something, bring it to us. That is how we make this show better. That is how we make the whole community smarter. And that is how we build something that actually serves the people who have been waiting the longest. Now let me give you today's outlook, because there is genuine stuff at stake over the next 72 hours. Tomorrow is August 15th. If contractors in Iraq start getting paid at a new rate, we will know over the weekend. If the Iraqi Parliament releases the new dinar rate by Saturday like the chatter says, that is a public event and it will be everywhere immediately. If bond holders got liquidated yesterday or today like the claims suggested, confirmations would be starting to surface. And if none of that happens, if we get to Monday morning and the screens look the same, the contractors are still waiting and the Parliament didn't say a word, then we note it, we track it, and we recognize that the August 15th window joined the long list of specific dates that came and went. I am not rooting for that outcome. I would love to be wrong. I would love to wake up Saturday morning to a flood of messages saying it happened, contractors confirmed it, here are the screenshots. But hope is not the same thing as evidence, and evidence is what we wait for. The September window is still the broader story. Iraq's budget law, Vietnam's dong, both supposedly moving in the same month tied to the same September 30th fiscal year deadline. Cabinet seating in Iraq over the next 12 days. The zero deletion debate reaching a decision point. And the thing I told you yesterday, the confidential source whose answer for the first time in years has changed. Hold all of it loosely. Stay hopeful without getting swept away. Keep your head. And do not act or spend because anyone, including me, told you to. I'll see you Friday morning, and if you haven't grabbed the app yet, this is the week. It's free, it's live in almost every country now, and if something actually breaks on that August 15th window or over the weekend, you'll know the second it happens instead of waiting on me to tell you Monday. VIP membership is free right now. That gets you the watch lists, the custom notifications, and the RV Day alert so you're never the last person to find out. Search GCR Sentinel on your phone's app store or head to gcrsentinel.com and we'll point you the right way. And if you know someone still piecing this together the hard way, 10 tabs, 5 different channels, never quite sure if they missed something, send them here. That is exactly who we built this for. I'm Truman Vale. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.